This is a broom. With this broom, you can clean up mostly everything. You can sweep up floors, clean off front porches, and you can do a lot of things. But you know one thing is for certain: the Tigers swept the tribe!
Indian fever is catching fire with everyone. Indian fever, you can be part of the fun. You're the winner at every game. That's where the excitement begins. So catch Indian fever. Be a believer with the Cleveland Indians. Indian fever. It starts from the very first inning.
They could not get the win.
Each game is a brand new beginning. It's the hits, the homers, the double plays. It's how you feel when we win. So catch Indian fever. Be a believer with the Cleveland Indians.
Oh, feel the fever, alright. And that's being beat by the Detroit Tigers in 3 straight at Progressive Field this weekend. I love you guys, and welcome in to this Monday, June 23rd edition. Andy Alfred during this summer sizzling season, right here on your exclusive home for me, ClayFan23. I am your host, Andy Alfred, welcoming you to the Man Cave Studios, welcoming you into another edition of All Andy Alfred. It is a pleasure to be back with you on the program after a couple-day vacation. Of course, some of you have known that I went up to Soaring Eagle Casino on Thursday and Friday afternoon. Returned Friday night. Of course, we don't do the show Saturday and Sunday, so I've been off for 4 days. And the Detroit Tigers are back in first place. It's always a good thing when they're back in first place. Always a good thing in first place. But welcome back into All Andy Alfred. Welcome back in. Right here on your exclusive home for me, ClayFan23. We got a lot to get into today. Of course, we got to talk about the World Cup, also about the Mud Hens. Today's Monday, so it's the top 3 and bottom 3 for the Mud Hens, as well as NHL news, and also Michelle Wee winning the women's U.S. Open, and the little girl, 11-year-old. I'll give you my opinion about her in my little spotlight section. But first, before we begin anything, we have breaking news coming in from CBJ land. Of course, Blue Jacket fans, I don't think if you haven't heard yet, of course, 2 things happened this past weekend. 1, the schedule was released for the 2014-2015 NHL season, and the Columbus Blue Jackets will open up on the road on October the 9th in Buffalo, New York. They'll be playing at the First Niagara Center to take on the Buffalo Sabres. However, the first home opener is a Saturday evening against Rick Nash and the New York Rangers. If that doesn't whet your appetite, nothing will. Opening night with the Rangers at Nationwide Arena. How big this rivalry has become. Looking at the schedule overall, in the month of October, big games against Toronto at the end of the month on Halloween on the 31st, before heading to New Jersey on the 1st of November. Our first game against Detroit this year will be the 18th of November. That is at Nationwide. That is a Tuesday evening, 7 o'clock start time. A week later, they play the Winnipeg Jets, one of my favorite teams as well, too, on the 25th. They're a team to watch out for as well, too. The first week of December has Florida, the battle of the Florida teams going on the 1st of December. The 1st, they go to Florida. 2 days later, they go to Florida, and then they play Tampa Bay on the 6th. However, the first matchup between the Pittsburgh Penguins, between the Blue Jackets, will happen on the 13th of December. That's a 7 o'clock start time. That's after this playoff series. That following Tuesday, they'll take on the Detroit Red Wings. And then the 20th of December, 4 days before Christmas, the Chicago Blackhawks come calling to Nationwide Arena. The New Year's Eve game will be on the 31st as Minnesota comes calling at 7 o'clock. Of course, on January 1st, they'll be having the Winter Classic. But the All-Star Game is at Nationwide Arena. It will be the 24th and 25th of January. The Blue Jackets will be hitting the road for a 3-game road trip starting the 17th of January to take on Boston, Minnesota, and Winnipeg before returning home the 27th to play Washington, but also hosting the All-Star Game on the 27th. February 3rd, the Blue Jackets take on the Arizona Coyotes, formerly the Phoenix Coyotes, and another key pivotal matchup, I think, in my personal opinion, is the game towards the end of the month. April the 4th, they take on the Pittsburgh Penguins. That's a 2 o'clock game. That's a Saturday afternoon. You know, yours truly will probably be at that game watching the Blue Jackets take on those mighty Pittsburgh Penguins. But we had a breaking news story that happened today. The Columbus Blue Jackets have made a trade. They have traded with the Philadelphia Flyers. They received Scott Hartnell. Hartnell, a very good pickup for the Blue Jackets, played with the Predators and with the Philadelphia Flyers. Hartnell has 250 goals and 537 points in 953 games. A very key pickup for the Blue Jackets. However, the Jackets gave up a 4th-round pick in this year's draft, which will be happening on Friday. By the way, pre-note, we will have the NHL Draft Show on Friday's edition of All Andy Alfred. Yours truly will break down the mock drafts, who he thinks will go number 1 and number 4, and on the Blue Jackets pickup as well too. But the Jackets trade away one of the key members, a former Ohio State Buckeye. Of course, you know him. It is R.J. Umberger. Has been traded to the formerly of the Flyers, back to the Flyers. He was originally a Flyer back in the day. He was drafted by the Flyers, of course, and now he is he's back to the Flyers this year for this season. But I think Scott Hartnell pickup for the Jackets is a very good pickup. He's a left winger. We need some help in the left wing. And you'll hear my predictions of what is going to happen for the Jackets in the draft on Friday's edition of All Andy Alfred. Of course, we'll talk Jackets, we'll talk Penguins, we'll talk Red Wings, we'll talk about the Hawks if we want to. But the big story today out of CBJ land, the 2 stories, the release of the schedule and the trade of R.J. Umberger. Now let's talk about something that's on a beautiful diamond. Baseball. Detroit. Now we'll talk 2 sides. Of course, we'll talk about Detroit and we'll talk about Cleveland. First, let's talk about Detroit. After a pathetic week of baseball against the Kansas City Royals, they went into Progressive Field swinging. And luckily for the Royals got hit hard by the Seattle Mariners, who the Tigers will have to face on this upcoming road trip. As the Cleveland Indians get swept at Progressive Field by the Detroit Tigers. Go Tigers! Friday, the Tigers were a winner 6-4. Rick Porcello getting the win. He goes to 9-4 with a 3.76 ERA. Corey Kluber gets the loss. He goes to 6-5 with a 3.30 ERA. Joe Nathan gets his 13th save of the season. Finally, he gets a save. He doesn't blow one. Oh my God! V-Mart goes deep, his 18. J.D. Martinez, his 7th of the season. Asdrubal Cabrera, his 5th of the season. And Carlos Santana, his 15th of the season at Progressive Field. Saturday, it was a sold-out Progressive Field. Saw a very good one with Justin Verlander on the hill. It went the full 9, went to the 10th inning, and the Tigers picking up a big victory. 5-4. Joe Nathan getting the win. He goes to 4-2 with a 6.18 ERA. Allen gets the loss for Cleveland. He goes to 3-2 with a 2.78 ERA. Phil Koch gets his first save of the season. Carlos Santana homered his 16th of the season. Ian Kinsler homered his 8th. Victor Martinez his 19th at a sold-out Progressive Field Saturday evening. And then in the concluding game on Sunday, it was just a roller. Scherzer showing his little bit of dominance. The Scherzer gets the win. He goes to 9-3 with a 3.71 as the Tigers rolled over the Tribe 10-4. Josh Tomlin struggled in this game. He now goes to 4-5 with a 4.39 ERA. Miguel Cabrera homered his 13th of the season at Progressive Field. Will the Tigers get back into their winning ways? They continue to grow, and they continue on and this road trip as they now hit to Texas. It will be Drew Smiley on the hill tonight. On Tuesday night, the Tigers are idle tonight. So are the Indians. Smiley on the hill tonight. Tuesday night, it will be Smiley versus Lewis on the hill for that one at 8:05. Wednesday will be Anibal Sanchez taking on Tesped at 8:05, and Rick Porcello will start on the hill for Detroit. The Texas Rangers have not yet named a starter as of yet for Thursday's matchup, and then they hit the road. They'll continue to go to Seattle. They'll take on the Mariners. It will be JV on the hill. Actually, Houston, excuse me. JV will be on the hill. Well, let's talk about the Indians. After the struggle that they had and having a great week in baseball coming to an end for them against this 3-game sweep of the Tigers by the Tigers, they now hit the road. They'll take on Arizona. But other notable games yesterday in the major leagues, of course, the Mets were a winner 11-5 over the Marlins. Seattle was a winner over the Kansas City Royals 2-1 to give the Tigers a first place nod. Washington was a winner 4-1 over the Atlanta Braves. Cincinnati was a winner 4-3 over the Toronto Blue Jays. Tampa Bay picking up a big win 5-2. Baltimore blanking the New York Yankees on Old Timers Day, and Tanaka getting a loss as the O's get a 8-0 victory. Minnesota 6, the White Sox 5. Philadelphia was a loser 3-5 to the St. Louis Cardinals. Pittsburgh 2, the Cubbies 1. Boston was a winner 7-6 over the Oakland Athletics. The Dodgers were a winner 2-1 over the San Diego Padres. Milwaukee 6, Colorado 5. San Francisco getting a big win 4-1, and LA getting a 5-2 victory on Sunday Night Baseball on ESPN over the Texas Rangers. Now the Cleveland Indians, after how they have been struggling as of late, in my personal opinion, I think they need to get some relief help. And errors killed them this weekend. Errors killed them this weekend. It was just pathetic. It was honestly just pathetic to see how pathetic they looked in errors. And it depends on who plays first or who plays third. If Francona can keep a solid schedule of who plays first and who plays third, maybe they can win some more ball games. But the Indians are idle tonight. They'll open up a 2-game series with the Arizona Diamondbacks. On Tuesday night, it will be Justin Masterson on the hill, 4-5 with a 4.75 ERA. He'll take on Miley for Arizona. Corey Kluber will start on Wednesday. He is 6-5 with a 3.30 ERA. He'll take on Anderson. The Tribal Ben will be off this Thursday. Then Cleveland will continue the road trip to Seattle, to Frazier Craneland. There'll be Bauer on the hill for Cleveland. He'll take on Young at a 10:05 start on Friday evening. Now looking at the standings in the American League Central going into tonight's play. With the Tigers and Cleveland being idle, Detroit holds the lead in the AL Central. They're 40-32, 6-4 in their last 10. Kansas City is 39-36, 2.5 out, 6-4 in their last 10. Cleveland is 37-39, 2 games under, 5 games out of first place, 4-6 in their last 10. Minnesota is in 4th place. They're 36-38, 5 games out, 5-5 in their last 10. And rounding out the division is the Chicago White Sox. The White Sox losing those big games in Minnesota. They're now 35-41, 7 games out, 2-8 in their last 10 games. Well, the Mud Hens were hit the road. They finished up their homestand with a big victory over the Braves. On Thursday afternoon, they hit the road to Charlotte, to the new MB&T ballpark in Uptown Charlotte. The beautiful new ballpark that they have in Charlotte. Charlotte getting the win on Friday night, 3-2. Heath gets the win. He goes to 3-1 with a 2.61 ERA. Kyle Lopson gets the loss. He goes to 4-7 with a 3.62 ERA. Thompson gets his 3rd save of the season. No homers hit in the game. Saturday, the Mud Hens were a loser 5-2 to the Knights. Seattle gets the win for Charlotte. He's now 1-0 with a 7.02 ERA. Belfour gets the loss. He goes to 2-3 with a 3.47. Kazawani gets the 2nd save of the season for the Knights. And then the home run parade began yesterday for the Mud Hens. 3 home runs hit in the game for the Hens by Pena, Gaynor, and Crow. Crow is third. Gaynor's third. Pena is second. As Robbie Ray, that's all the offense help the Robbie Ray will get. As the Mud Hens won 4-3. Ray gets the win. He goes to 4-3 with a 3.08 ERA. Johnson gets the loss. He goes to 1-5 with a 6.38 ERA. No home runs hit for Charlotte. Whelan gets his 12th save of the season for the Mud Hens. Now tonight the Mud Hens will conclude this 4-game set before hitting the road to Gwinnett, Georgia. It'll be Derek Hankins on the hill, 3-7 with a 5.86 ERA. He'll take on Dylan Axelrod for Charlotte, who is 3-6 with a 4.64 ERA. Dwayne Beal will start for the Hens on Tuesday in Gwinnett at 6:35. Gwinnett has not yet named the starter yet for Tuesday's opener. We'll give you that starter for you guys tomorrow on All Andy Alfred as we break down the Mud Hen game for you tomorrow on the show. But the Mud Hens are still in last place in the IL West standings. Looking at the race, Indianapolis leads the division. They're 45-32, 5-5 in the last 10. Columbus is in second place. They're 4.5 out, 40-36, 7-3 in their last 10. The Clippers are on the rise. The Louisville Bats, however, are starting to fall. Are also catching up with the Clippers. 40-38, 5.5 out, 6-4 in the last 10 in the Mud Hens. 37-40. 8 games out of first place. 5-5 in their last 10. Well, it's the traditional Monday show, so you know what that means. It's the top 3 and bottom 3 in the order for the Mud Hens. Top 3 in the bottom 3 right here on All Andy Alfred. The number 1 spot, the best hitter for the Mud Hens right now is Ezekiel Carrera. He's batting at .306. 3 home runs, 25 RBIs. He has struck out 44 times. His on-base percentage is at .396. James Mima McCann, 282, 2 home runs, 27 RBIs, 49 strikeouts. This evening, his on-base percentage is at .349. Hernan Perez is batting at .276, 3 home runs, 27 RBIs, 41 strikeouts. His on-base percentage is at .326. The bottom 3. Wayne Gaynor, after the performance he had yesterday, 214, 3 home runs, 12 RBIs, 41 strikeouts. His on-base percentage is a .270. Here for me is the biggest loser. Exposito is so far still the loser. He's batting a .177 with a 3 home runs, 10 RBIs, 29 strikeouts, .252 on-base percentage. That's not bad. Here is who I think is the worst. Jordan Lerton, 179, 3 home runs, 22 driven in, 310 on base percentage, 71 strikeouts. 71 strikeouts this season. 7-1. 7-1. And you wonder why I pick him out. Mike Hespen's batting at .269 right now. 14 home runs. 31 RBIs. He is struck out 59 times. .356 on base percentage. Mike is having a good year. Jordan? Especially now at first base. He's back at first base, playing first base. Cabrera's going to be back at first. He's going to be there for a while. We don't need any more first basemen. We're different. Lennerton also plays third. Castellanos plays third too. He plays pretty good too. Let's play Castellanos, please. You like it? It's time for World Cup Soccer Breakdown in 3, 2, 1. Oh, here we go. World Cup coverage for you guys. Sunday, it was Belgium will win 1-0 over the Russians. South Korea gets beaten up by Algeria 4-2. And then the United States game. We get to this. This is what I wanted to talk about. After I missed a lot of the game, so I taped it and watched it. Clint Dempsey such a key player. After giving up the first goal by Mini in the 5th minute, being down, Clint Dempsey and the Jones got that Jones first. Jones, let's get to Jones first. He scored at the 64th minute. Oh my God! What a shot! Ripped it. It was a spine-time tingler at the 64th minute, and then Clint Dempsey. Oh my God! I thought he had it. We thought that the United States would move on to the knockout rounds and be okay. And then Cristiano Ronaldo! That's what the fans are doing after that horrible call. Go! Ronaldo gets the goal with 30 seconds left to go in stoppage time. Portugal and the United States finished tied at 2. So here is the situation. A win, we're going through. A draw. That's not gonna. Oh, we'll go through. A loss and a Portugal and Ghana tie will set up for the tiebreaker. So it's a must-win. It was a must-win yesterday, and we couldn't get it done. Finish the job, Team USA. Bring back the trophy. This World Cup is becoming a facepalm. Like what your logo is. A big old facepalm. Today, Australia got their butts whooped. The Socceroos got beat up by the Spaniards 3-0. The Netherlands getting a 2-0 victory over Chile. Cameroon losing to Brazil 3-1. And Mexico getting a big win over Costa Rica. Sets up Brazil to move on to the next round. Mexico to the next round. The Netherlands are in the next round. Chile. Tomorrow, Costa Rica takes on England. Costa Rica's in it. Italy is looking on the outside in against Uruguay. Greece is taking on the Ivory Coast at 4 o'clock on ESPN2. Japan takes on Colombia at 4 o'clock on ESPN. Like I told you about the Blue Jacket news. Other NHL news for you today. The Montreal Canadiens signed Andrei Markov for a 3-year extension. And the Vancouver Canucks have hired Willie Desargens, a 57-year-old coach, formerly of the AHL, to a new contract for the head coaching position of the Vancouver Canucks. So good for them. Carl Edwards, Mr. 99, Ford Fusion back there, picked up a big victory at Sonoma yesterday. He's in the chase. He's got 2 wins. He's guaranteed a spot in the chase. I mean, Jimmy Johnson's guaranteed also, too. Michelle Wie wins the U.S. Women's Open. Now, I want to get into this 11-year-old this is amateur, that missed the cut on Friday, of course. But on Thursday, played pretty good. I would like to see her here in Toledo at the JV Farm. We're going to see Michelle Wie. We're going to see Paul. We're going to see Stacey Lewis. We're going to see Sari Pak. I like to see this 11-year-old kid play in the JV Farm. Because you would imagine what the following will be for her. I would follow her around the course to watch her. Just plain and simple. I give her all the credit in the world. Congratulations for making the cut. Not making the cut, but making it onto the U.S. Women's Open at Pinehurst number 2. So now, I'd like to see at Highland Meadows in July with another ice cream cone. Or maybe from Handles. That's down the street. I want to get into a little bit of a rant, okay? I saw this Sunday. I've seen this a lot nowadays. Channel 11 did a piece of this. 13 got to sit down with him. Jim Weber. A lot of you have seen the rant. If you haven't seen the rant, look on throughout the page of my rant with Jim Weber and Matt Malzak. Entertaining. He's been in the league for 40 years doing broadcast. It's time, Jim, I did not enjoy this weekend's broadcast of the baseball games with you on the call. You alone on the call. It's like I'd rather have a root canal done at Dr. Zuhari and Fisher's office than listen to you do play-by-play of Mudhen baseball. It's plain and simple. Retire, give it to me, or give it to somebody that else is good, that will make baseball entertaining. Just plain and simple, Jim. And Lee Conklin interviewing him. Oh my God, it was just horrible. It was a waste of a 15-minute segment before the World Cup started on Sunday. It was just ridiculous. There's no need to put him on. He is a minor league baseball guy. Yes, he's in the Hall of Fame. Yes, he is good at his job. But when he gets in the Hall of Fame, that's when you give him the momentum. But now, after the Hall of Fame induction ceremony and everything like that, turn off the cameras, look at yourself, and think, do I really want to do this for the rest of my 40, maybe 20 years left on this planet? Because he's in his 70s. Be time to turn over the mic to younger talent. Joe Napoli, I'm right here. Give me a call. Phone's right here. Give me a call. Plain and simple. If you have any questions or comments about the show, just follow it underneath this show. I'll read them on the air, of course. And also, you can tweet me. It is at Andy Alfred. It's at Andy Alfred. On tomorrow's show, we'll break down the Mudhen game for you guys. Continue the preview for the Indians and Tigers, of course, too. And getting more NHL news as well, too. We'll give you our NBA preview as well, too. Thursday's program, Wednesday or Thursday, we're trying to line up a guest for Wednesday's Thursday program. We'll find. If we confirm it, we'll give you the information and so much more. But until tomorrow, I am Andy Alfred. Go Hens! Let's split the series against the Knights at MBNT Ballpark. Go Tigers! Continue the winning streak in Texas. On Tribe. Big victories needed in the desert. And good luck to RJ Umberger as he continues his playing career with the Philadelphia Flyers. Until tomorrow, I am Andy Alfred. Hope you have a terrific rest of the evening. And as always, I'll pull it for you. We're all in this together. The game of life. And to the teams behind me, and to your team that you root for at home as well. Victory is sweetest when you have tasted defeat. Have a great evening, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow for another edition of All Andy Alfred. I love you guys. Talk to you tomorrow for another edition. Hey, why don't we just play another round of Indians Fever? How about we do that? Sorry, Tri fans.
Indian Fever. You can be part of the fun. You're the winner at every game. That's where the excitement begins. So catch Indian Fever. Be a believer.
See you tomorrow for another edition of All Andy Alfred. Love you guys.